Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning into another video. In this one I want to talk about weed addiction, share my experience, debunk some myths, and suggest some things we can do to work through our struggles to reach our goals. If you're new around here, my name is Travis. I post videos every single Sunday on a wide variety of topics, mostly to do with personal development because that's the journey that I'm on right now. If you want to follow along with that journey and maybe even share your own, consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to have you around for future conversations. I started smoking weed when I was 14 years old. It started out as an occasional thing, but it quickly grew into a habit, and before I knew it, I was smoking every single day. This lasted 14 years until June 10th, 2019, I finally quit. Not only weed, but all drugs and alcohol as well. This doesn't mean that I'm anti-weed, not at all. I'm actually a huge advocate for it, because there are so many benefits that come with moderate use. Enhanced creativity, relaxation, calms anxiety, promotes a healthy appetite. It aids in good sleep, it's great for pain relief. It's used as a treatment or a remedy for a wide variety of diseases and illnesses, both mental and physical, and the list goes on and on. If you want to learn more about why marijuana is such an amazing medicine, check out this article by Health Europe, link in the description. But it's not all good. Of course, like any other medicine, there are side effects and negative consequences to marijuana abuse. It gives you a distorted sense of time, lowers your motor skills, lowers your inhibitions. It causes memory loss, lung damage, strain on your heart, increases the already deadly dangers of alcohol abuse. Of course, the obvious stuff like laziness, lack of ambition, and weight gain. And last but not least, addiction. For years I've heard that weed addiction is not a real thing, that there's nothing in weed that can make somebody addicted. But even the smallest bit of research will show you that that simply isn't true. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, 30% of people who try marijuana will develop some degree of marijuana use disorder, which is classified as addiction in severe cases, when a person cannot stop using a drug even though it negatively affects their life. This was me. I tried to stop a bunch of times, but I kept failing over and over again. It affected my life in a lot of ways, including social anxiety, anger, laziness, lack of ambition, overeating, and worst of all, a complete numbing of my emotions. I used weed as an escape from my life and my problems. I was too scared to face my issues, so I sank into a cloud of weed smoke, and I was happy to stay there as long as I didn't have to face my demons. It took a strong support system, lots of therapy, and an extreme desire to change to finally bring myself to quit. Another thing that convinced me just how real the addiction was were the weeks of withdrawal symptoms that I experienced after. I had trouble eating, my sleep was restless and full of nightmares. During the day, my body would shake and I literally felt sick to the stomach most of the time. The strangest part was all the emotions that came rushing to the surface. I'd be walking down the street and out of nowhere start to cry, or I would have an overwhelming sense of happiness. The mood swings were drastic and frequent. It felt like 14 years of numbed emotions were all awoken at once. Eventually, my body and my mind found some balance, and I could finally move on from the heavy weight of my addiction. I'm still tempted, and even though I'm doing pretty well, it's not always easy. I'd like to get to a point where I can casually smoke in moderation, so I can still get some of the positive benefits, but I don't know if I can do that in a healthy way without relapsing. If weed is an issue for you, consider seeking some professional help, and do some personal exploration and figure out why you're holding on to it so tightly. And if you smoke weed and you don't think it's a problem, re-examine your habits and clarify for yourself if that's actually true. Because for some people it is. Not everybody gets addicted and abuses it, and like I said before, there are a bunch of positive benefits. The problem is the current perception of it, that is completely harmless. So much of the world is legalizing it and the stigma is going away. But I can tell you from experience that it is not harmless. It can really mess a lot of things up in your life if you let it. So take a step back and really ask yourself, is this a problem? And if the answer is yes, start taking the steps necessary to go in a new direction. There is so much to gain from a clear mind and a fresh start. What's your experience with marijuana been like? Let me know in the comment section below. Has it helped or hurt your life? I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave me a like. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.